Hi, I'm Kevin Elder, the Project Manager for Labour Market Information at Food Processing Skills Canada. Welcome to our educational video series, The Labour Ingredient. In this episode, we're talking about racism and removing barriers. So once you've identified a labor pool that you want to access, you need to figure out how to get them through the door. So first step is to identify whether there's any barriers within your recruitment strategy that are preventing you from getting those people into your facility. One example I've come across is education. Often when I'm speaking with employers, they will tell me something along the lines of, I just need anyone with a heartbeat and two legs or something like that. And so when I look at those same companies' job descriptions, often they'll say bachelor degree preferred or high school completed or something when there's no education attainment required, so you're limiting the number of people that are going to apply to your job. There are many other common barriers that job seekers face when they're looking for employment. And again, as I've mentioned, employers often tell me how dire their labor situation is. I've seen the numbers myself, I know that it's bad. Yet when I speak to my colleagues here at Food Processing Skills Canada that run our training programs, a number of the graduates of those programs have applied for jobs with the very same employers that tell me they're desperate for people. They aren't getting hired, they're not even getting interviews. The common denominator that they face, they have really long last names that indicate that they're immigrants or descended from immigrants. And that sounds like racism to me and everybody else. So if you discover barriers like this within your own organization, address the issues. If your job postings go out and say that they need a university degree or prefer a university degree, when really you just want basic literacy skills, adjust your job descriptions to reflect what skills you actually need. If you discover that people are applying for jobs in your facility but they aren't getting interviews or aren't getting hired on, figure out why and fix it. If there's fears within your organization about integrating immigrants into your workplace culture, then organizations like Food Processing Skills Canada are who you should look to. We offer programs and courses on emotional intelligence, communication, intercultural communication that can help your staff figure out how to integrate everyone into your workplace. If there are concerns around food safety, FPSC offers programs on food safety in 7 different languages, so you can have the confidence that your staff know the food safety for your sector in their mother tongue. Remember, this is about addressing barriers to bringing new people into your facility, not about blaming whomever put those barriers there. When there's a system that discriminates against a specific group of people or groups of people, that's called systemic racism. And that doesn't mean that the system is filled with racists. It means even if there were no racists working in that system, it would still discriminate against people. So if you found that your hiring strategy or your recruitment has barriers like this in them, address it, fix it. There are a lot of other actions that you can take to help reduce barriers that affect the decision of job seekers, whether or not they even apply for your positions, and they're often outside of your own workplace. That could be transportation, housing, childcare, just to name a few. On the transportation side, is your facility served by public transit? Do your staff need to own a vehicle? Do you run a shuttle bus? For childcare, are there any daycare centers that allow your staff to drop off their children that work with your start times and end times? On the housing front, if you've discovered that there's any sort of barriers within your own recruitment strategy, often these are the exact same sorts of barriers that new Canadians face when they're trying to find a place to rent or a place to buy. But for each of these examples, there are success stories and best practices. So reach out to Food Processing Skills Canada. We can connect you with the information, training, and resources that you need.